Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL chatter lately, you've probably heard some whispers about the possibility of L'Jarius Sneed making a move from the Tennessee Titans to the Green Bay Packers. And let me tell you, this isn't just some rumor. It's a move that could have some serious implications for the NFC North and more broadly, for the Packers' quest for another Super Bowl title. So let's unpack this story, look at the details, the reasoning behind it, and what it could mean for Green Bay's future. First off, the Titans are in a bit of a mess right now. They're sitting at a 2-9 record, which is definitely not what they envisioned at the start of the season. Their defense has been leaking points like a sieve, giving up an average of 29. 1 point per game. That's a huge number in today's NFL, where defenses are supposed to be the backbone of any successful team. Their cap space isn't doing them any favors either, with around $19 million in free cap room, but they're clearly in a rebuild mode, especially after the struggles they've had with the Levis slump. Their defense, according to PFF, has an 80. 5 grade overall, which isn't terrible, but their EPA per play is around 0. 10, indicating they're giving up too many big plays and failing to make consistent stops. Now, the Titans' management is reportedly looking to shake things up. One of the options they're considering is trading Sneed, a talented cornerback who's been making waves in the league since he was drafted in 2020. The idea? They could send Sneed to the Packers in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's a significant offer, especially considering Sneed's current production and potential. The Titans are prioritizing picks to help rebuild their roster, especially since they've allowed an average of 3-4 sacks per game, clear evidence that their offensive line needs serious work. They're also eyeing extensions for players like Ridley, but with the looming deal, they're running out of cap space and options. What's intriguing here is how Sneed's addition would impact the Packers' secondary and overall defense. Sneed is a true shadow corner, known for his ability to blanket top receivers and create turnovers. His career stats are impressive, 6 years in the league, with 260 solo tackles, 92 assists, 6-5 sacks, and 10 interceptions. His PFF grade this season is hovering around 86.5, and his coverage grade is an impressive 87. He's allowed an average of just 3.9 yards after catch per reception, which shows how well he can prevent yards after the catch. His EPA per target is 12, meaning he's a disruptive force on the field, constantly challenging quarterbacks and forcing them into mistakes. Adding Sneed to the Packers' defense would be a game changer. It would give them an elite man-to-man corner to work alongside Alexander, creating a shutdown duo that could really elevate their pass defense. And with Sneed in the mix, the Packers could see a jump in interceptions, possibly doubling their current number from 9 to 19, and a significant boost in coverage efficiency, perhaps raising their EPA pass by around 20%. This would also translate into fewer big plays allowed, which has been a concern this season. Their current big plays allowed are averaging about 12 per game, and Sneed's presence could help cut that down. Now, let's not forget the strategic reasoning. The Titans, despite their cap issues, are probably looking at the long game here. They need to rebuild their defensive line and their secondary, especially if they want to turn things around in 2024. Allowing an average of 3-2 sacks per game on defense isn't sustainable, and they're aware that losing an elite corner like Sneed could hurt them, especially since their pass defense has already dropped by about 20% this season, from allowing roughly 220 yards per game to even more. They're also losing some key players to injuries, like Reed, who's out for 6 weeks with a foot injury, and Van Ness, who's questionable for Week 13 due to a leg injury. For the Packers, acquiring Sneed isn't just about filling a hole, it's about elevating their entire secondary and setting the stage for a deep playoff run. With Alexander and Sneed locking down the perimeter, Green Bay could be looking at a defense that's not just good but elite. They could see a jump in turnovers, with potentially 10 or more interceptions, especially if Sneed gets integrated well into their scheme. This would give quarterback Love more opportunities to turn defense into offense, something that was missing earlier in the season. From a strategic standpoint, Snead's addition would also help the Packers in critical situations, third downs, red zone defense, and late-game scenarios. His ability to shadow top receivers and disrupt timing routes means Green Bay could become much more difficult to move the ball against. And let's be honest, a defense that can consistently shut down opponents' passing game is often the key to winning close games, especially in the playoffs. Looking at the bigger picture, the impact of adding a player like Snead could ripple through the entire NFC North. If the Packers can solidify their secondary and improve their overall defensive efficiency, they could turn into serious contenders. The NFC has a few strong teams, but with the right defensive pieces, Green Bay could challenge the top dogs like the Eagles, 49ers, and even the Cowboys. And in terms of division rivalry, a move like this could shake up the NFC North significantly. The Vikings, Lions, and Bears would have to rethink their offensive strategies, knowing they'll face a more lockdown Green Bay secondary. Now, let's talk about the odds and the potential for a Super Bowl run. If the Packers manage to pull off this trade and integrate Snead seamlessly, the odds of them making a deep postseason run could improve dramatically. Bookmakers are already giving them a plus 900 shot, but that could shift to plus 600 if they strengthen their secondary with a player of Snead's caliber. That kind of upgrade could be the difference maker in key playoff matchups. It's reminiscent of what the Dolphins did with Certain, bolstering their secondary and turning into one of the most feared defenses in the league. Green Bay has the talent on offense, especially with Love's development and their solid running game, but a dominant defense might just be the missing piece. And here's an interesting detail: Snead's ability to erase top receivers like Jefferson could be a nightmare for divisional opponents. Imagine shutting down the Vikings, wide receiver one, forcing Kirk Cousins into uncomfortable throws. That's the kind of impact a player like Snead can have, and it's exactly what Green Bay needs to establish itself as a true contender. Plus, his versatility means he can also contribute on blitzes and run support, making him a well-rounded asset for any defensive coordinator. In conclusion, this potential trade isn't just about acquiring a talented cornerback. It's about reshaping the identity of the Green Bay Packers defense. It's about setting a tone, establishing a shutdown era that could strike fear into opponents. The Titans, for their part, seem hesitant to let Snead go, but if the Packers can leverage the right offer, they might secure a cornerstone piece for years to come. This move could elevate their chances at a Super Bowl, especially if they continue to develop their offense and integrate Snead into their system seamlessly. The NFC landscape could be shifting, and Green Bay might be at the forefront of that change, riding a wave of elite defense to another deep playoff push. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.